fight for what you want, because those people that love you, they have your back. They're going to be there. You're going to make them proud. You could be the inspiration to each and every one of them.
And Jenna, you just holler when you're ready to order, hon.
Ready, Mom?
What you want, girl?
Give me 2 of your spicy.
For lack of better words, I had a problem with drinking, as well as doing drugs in between. Cocaine in particular was a bad part of my life. I didn't learn to slow down until I wiped out at 143 miles per hour. Only by the grace of God was I even allowed to live. I do not believe that without Him there would be a me. I was drinking the same night in question that I did this. It was probably about 9 o'clock, middle of summer, July 20th, 2017. I'll never forget the date. I call it my crash-iversary now, every July 20th, because it's the day that I basically got to be reborn. I hit the curb with my foot first, amputated the foot, ground the arm up in the crash, sliding on top of it. One person stopped to help me that night, a young man by the name of Christian, no less. So, definitely not ironic. I came to in the hospital 56 days later, and I didn't know it was 56 days later. I was in a medically induced coma. I looked up, there was a board above my head that said July 20th, 2017, so I thought I'd only been there for a few hours. Looked over, my girl was sitting in the chair next to the bed, crying because I had woken up, I guess. And I started, like stupid human instinct, apologizing, trying to apologize my way out of it. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, and I passed back out. So the next time I came to, I looked up again, and there was still that same neon sign that said July 20th, 2017, but now my mom was in the room, so I knew it was a different day. And I looked down, and there was a board at the foot of the bed where the nurses would sign in, and it was already September, and it kind of set in. I still didn't even realize I was an amputee yet. Coming out of a medically induced coma, I wasn't really all the way there. And about 3-4 more times before I woke completely up and realized I felt like I had a broken arm. My leg was in a scaffold system because I had amputated my foot, shattered all 36 bones, broke the tibia and fibula in half, and I couldn't feel my arm. Like I was, I thought, oh, I must have broke my arm too. And then I was like, well, where's my sling? It's supposed to be a sling here. And then I was like, oh, wow, yeah, that's definitely broken. And I knew in that moment that I had a decision to make about my life, and the journey to recovery began. I had to reinvent myself, rediscover myself, just try and figure out even who I was. And I was very angry at God Himself, first and foremost, because He's supposed to be the all-knowing, and He knows how I am. He knows that even sitting here for this interview bothers me. I do not sit well at all, and I was confined to a wheelchair and told that I would probably never walk again. So I had to come to terms with that reality first, while trying to figure out what my next move was, how I was going to take care of me. So I sat a long time in that chair, a lot of time, downtime. I designed clothes, even the shirt that you see on me now. I designed my logo for my food truck myself. I made clothes first from a wheelchair and was selling clothes. And then, after watching so much Gordon Ramsay and Bobby Flay and getting fat sitting in a wheelchair eating good food, I decided that food was what I wanted to do. So I started to reinvent myself via food, and I found a purpose on earth. I found a calling, something that gives me great pleasure, and not everybody gets to do what they love for a living. And I might be an amputee, but I'm so fortunate to be able to do what I love for a living that tears of joy is what it causes. It resulted in me opening the East Toledo Community Kitchen, feeding the homeless over in East Toledo, because I wanted to give back. I just came to a resolve that if you've seen an 80-year-old lady laying on the sidewalk, would you ask her how she got there, or would you help her up? And I'm just the type that I would help her up. And I now own the newest licensed mobile food unit in the city of Toledo, Ohio. J. Diggity's Kickin' Chicken and Waffles, the home of love, peace, and chicken grease. I served, catered for people, did weddings. Last year was by far my greatest triumph when I catered the Little League World Series for handicapped kids for the whole state of Ohio. More than 3,600 guests, and it was just the most awesome thing I've ever been a part of in my life, and I've been a part of a lot, obviously. I've never seen so much love in one spot, so many like-minded people with no judgment and just true support and love. I've never seen anything like it.
What's up, buddy? How you doing? You went ghost hunting this weekend? Oh yeah!
Sobriety means clarity in decision making, as well as my past. Without being sober, you don't really compare your past to what you're in the moment you're in. I've had so many learning experiences with this food trailer and trying to get it open, where the old me most assuredly was right at the surface, ready to break through again, but because I gave up the drinking and drugging, I made the rational decision as opposed to the irrational decision that I normally would have made. Where there's a will, there's a way. Not to sound like anyone else, but it's up to us, and we all have it inside of us. You just have to find yours, and there's a future in spite of whatever could happen to you, just like whatever happened to myself. And it was a struggle, but everyday life is a struggle, and everyone's struggling with something. But when you cross that finish line, all of the struggles are worth it. And you look back and you smile at those struggles, and you have something to be proud of.